a spade, right? The desk have touched on this. This veto does feel as if it leans heavily in favour of Fnatic. I mean, the win conditions have got to be at least putting up a fight in map 1. And that's your previous series aside, they had a thrilling opening map.
Is it Ascent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got to make this interesting, right? And Breeze is the one that really you could potentially toss up in the air if FURIA are able to really kind of slip into being that, you know, very difficult to grasp team that we know they have the potential to be.
See if they can live up to that. Starting out on the defending side, FURIA going to have to handle Fnatic's approach, which is so damn good on this map. The record by their name is substantial. Durka not as clean as he'd like on the first couple of shots there.
Elsewhere, actually, Alpha, gets picked up. Zine actually finds Durka on the repeat. And immediately here, a two-man advantage presented for FURIA. Fnatic going to continue to force the issue here with Boaster in this late lurk towards B main, but he's going to try and find a kill here. Actually, about to get walled off as well.
Yeah, options looking highly unlikely for Fnatic, but Boaster, timing not quite there. Going to be noted that removes that element that maybe they could have lent towards with quite a lot of time left. There's 50 seconds to play with, so there's still potential threats across the board, but no real success towards the site. And now with Enzo falling, it's looking less and less likely. Maybe gambling over towards his B site, but there's still no way in. They're banking on Boaster doing something. And yes, chip damage, but still no frag.
I mean, this wall should be coming down eventually, but actually Boaster picked up before Mystic can even get across to support him. It's going to be a matter of time now. The Frenzy going to be difficult from this range. FURIA close out the pistol.
And again, when we talk about win conditions here for FURIA, it feels like one of those mental games, because we know that Fnatic have had fumbles in the past, right? It's one of those where we've seen them occasionally make mistakes and get into their own heads. You know, the emotional issues start to arise, those sort of things. Now, for FURIA though, especially with the Brazilian teams, this sort of region getting fired up early, getting confidence, showing that, we can actually do damage to Fnatic is huge. So, big start for them, picking up the pistol there, gonna instantly go up towards the Spectres and the Bulldog. And on the other side, I don't think there's any investment at all, no, just classics.
Oh, he's 2 shots to the Headhunter for Durka. Frugal here in round 2. Immediately the wall goes up. Durka actually nearly making one of those work. No tag though. Actually, this wall will really slow things down. With just classics on the other side of it, it's going to require Fnatic to either bring the knives out, create enough noise, but they're going to have a decent idea of who's behind it anyway.
Yeah, that's, I mean, maybe a plant. You're clutching at straws. You want the slim benefits in these rounds, and looking towards a spike, not quite there towards the site yet, still in the hands of Boaster. So you're making its way forward, wall in place. That's going to be chipped away at. And the plant going to come down. I don't think much is going to deny. Actually, no, there is a fair amount of utility on the site. That's going to stop Boaster. Gets melted to pieces. So far, so good. 5 standing for FURIA.
Enemy remaining.
And only so far, Mazin being the one punished as it's clean. Good work from FURIA here, Mike.
4 standing. Very good opportunity here in the bonus round. Let's see, actually, Mazin brings into this. A pistol maybe to cycle across, but the Bulldog in here. Okay, well, I'm surprised at what I'm seeing. We'll wait to see if that's actually confirmed, but well played by FURIA initially here.
Spike down A.
To back away, at least even risk giving up the plant here, but the crunch is perfect.
It absolutely is, and we can start...
Still there. The operator was what I was curious about.
It's sticking around. I mean, this has got some bite to it.
Whether or not he's just going to play very passive here, and if things slip out of hand or out of control, he's just going to back away, try and hold on to it, but certainly interesting to see. Wow, it's not passive.
Not at all. Okay, this is quite exciting. Getting super proactive down middle. Does have support as well. He's not alone there.
But that's the thing. It's a key focal point, really, in controlling Fnatic on their attacking half. Is this presence outside a tube, not allowing anything to slip the net.
Well, the amount of times we complimented that mid lurk coming out from be it even Boaster, Alpha at the time. We've seen a couple of players do it. And with that presence still noted, Boaster's going to try and drift back over. Now, let's note the timing. He could get this right. This could be critical to outcome.
He's in range of his TP so deep in tube as well that Boaster actually
still checks it.
I was to say, it was nearly a clean swing there actually with the crowd to the last second.
But the time, again, they're down to 50 seconds now. Fnatic will have to start taking these further risks towards the site.
Absolutely.
Warded away at least the operator, but still 3 players towards backside. They have been doing quite well at causing issues for Fnatic, but now with the weaponry by their side, they should be able to kind of potentially shift into a better position. Already going to pick up the first. That removes one of the players who's tucked towards the back of sight. Trade comes out. It's not over yet. Hold on!
No.
Wait, what is going on? FURIA. This could be huge. It's a 2v2 and the timing for Khalil could be massive. The timing! He's got it! Catching Boaster, slipping through the mist, and now Enzo in the 1v2. Does still have the spike to hand, so he can get a plant, Mike.
No, expect FURIA to barrel through here. Enzo capable of the clash, we know it.
A couple of bits of util left as well for Khalil. This isn't too bad, but... Okay, noted on the knife. Couple more seconds, but he's trying to play around the world, play that timing. All still there, gets depleted, as does the Sage Wall. First contact made, and he's down to 9 HP. You see Khalil gonna try and push up on this one, but the diffuser's coming in. He ain't stopping! FURIA! Converting bonus, unbelievable. A risky purchase, Mike, but it pays off.
Definitely pays off. And that's even actually after Boaster doesn't get the kill. Likewise, actually the operator's not rewarded with the kill, but he's noted. And that makes the late round so much easier when it comes down to exactly what happens on A side. Operator not actually retrieved. Now that is the concern on the back end of that, but they've converted the bonus.
And it looks like they're investing back around that potential. I'm looking at the buy coming in now.
Well, they're able to share the wealth.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's back into play. This is huge. Fnatic maybe a little shaken up here, but going for the rifle with light armor purchase.
Massive gaps in the utility though.
Okay, maybe testing the waters elsewhere.
Yeah. First time actually seeing any sort of focus in the early round towards B here. Boaster's going to get caught up in that snake at least, but this time around, the operator pays dividends.
And he gets away with his life. No trade available, nothing to be found. And actually proactive through middle at the same time. FURIA taking a lot of the boxes, a little risque to be doing this, but posting up Marzin just a little deeper towards middle. You see similar scenes on the other side, potentially trying to find some facts for Alpha, but again, that rotation back would be an issue. For now, though, Enzo looking for information towards B.
I mean, the fact that Boaster's fallen first makes this B hit. I was going to say, Durka furiously looking for that one. Alpha are going to be tested in mid as well, but Marzin up to the task.
Yeah, so far, so good for FURIA here. Mystic and Enzo, they were noted earlier on. And, this is
that's bold.
Okay. That was maybe a little much, but
he can come back and get the res now. He can get Boaster back up.
He's straight away to it. Okay, back to a 3v3. Certainly not over yet, Mike.
Well, it makes it a little easy now. I was about to say, with Boaster falling, this Viper Wall being down makes this B site execute so much harder to even make use of the Sage Wall. Decent flash, but no reward for it.
25 seconds. And then that's a spike down. Mystic's fallen. Quickly gathered by Boaster, but there's no safety. This Enzo needs to almost secure this himself. Has to fight away to find some safety. And FURIA rip it away. That's 4-0. Let's pump the brakes down because we were talking about win conditions. Let's revisit those, Mike. So far, this is looking good.
Yeah, keeping them in check here. And actually, when you look at kind of head-to-head in terms of the stats, FURIA do lag a little behind in terms of their defensive success, and Fnatic actually edging out in terms of the attack. So this is a very interesting start. No surprise to see the timeout called here. I mean, I was saying make it interesting. FURIA look in total control right now. And it's the timings that, you know, the second layer of some of these defensive setups where they're ready to address Tube, looking for Alpha, looking for Boaster, looking for... There's 3 members of Fnatic that are known to lurk here behind some of these executions. And FURIA are well equipped for all of it.
And I love that because the amount of times during the EMEA regular season we talk about how much value they get off those mid lurks, how much they've been able to get, you know, late control.
Lurking for free sometimes.
Really,
like,
really. Left to their own devices.
Uncontested.
Which was always such a curiosity, but it feels as though FURIA are very aware of this. They've now had 2 different looks towards dealing with it. They've had, you know, it was Boaster initially trying to approach that, and then you've had Alpha, so you've had both sides of the coin in that aspect, while Fnatic were testing the waters over towards that B side. So it's kind of interesting they've now weathered the storm to a degree on both sides, and they're going to reap the rewards of the benefit of the economy now sitting favorably for them. They should have potentially 5 here unless Fnatic brings something out. Always a chance, but still. In
terms of the finances, this is the one now. Obviously, with Fnatic purchasing back into the previous, and with that operator coming out very early, this is the one where we should see FURIA's economy stabilize, right? Ahead of this first ult cycle, one off the Tour de Force, so there's a couple of things to complement that, but this is the one ultimately for me. With how much control they've been in previously, if this is flawless, I'm actually getting a little concerned how far FURIA can go with this half.
Well, Mini should have, you know, as I said, he pumped the brakes just a round ago, and he's going to be coming back in with a plan. So, again, Mini, maybe not always getting the credit he deserves. Very much one of the key aspects of what has made Fnatic great in the past. So, hopefully he's going to be able to adjust a couple of things here. Let's look at what they come in with. And it's Stingers galore, Headhunter coming out, and that's about all she wrote. And once again, look towards middle. Mazin already starting to have a little bit of a glimpse, a little bit of a look, but again, you don't want to be too over-aggressive. You don't want to give away too much in these rounds. This is another test for FURIA. How do they look in their anti-ecos? How How robust do they look? 'Cause you said it. You want to see the economy to stabilize, and this is the round for exactly that.
Fnatic very cautious at approach here, but a lot of it. Oh, actually, only one tagged. I thought that knife was maybe going to ping 3, but the fact that it's Enzo would lean towards a couple more members of Fnatic lying in wait. Once again, wall goes up actually under 50 seconds, so Fnatic kind of have to deal with this now.
There's only 2 on the side this time for FURIA. We have seen that third player rotate really quickly, and that might be the case now. Mazin kind of drifting back away from middle. Might have to leave that more into the hands of Khalil to fill that gap, as the hit will be coming through. So 3 on the side. Good spot towards Belt already. Durka gone down. That's a headhunter removed from this. For the Stingers, you don't want to get up close to them, and you're seeing that now. Alpha shows you how it's done, and it's a firing squad.
Damage.
But again, none of it came towards FURIA. It was all on Fnatic. 14 seconds now, they're running out of time. They got to make a move, and they do! Enzo and Boaster somehow break in. 9 seconds now. Khalil has to do some damage here. The ult's popped. Enzo's taking down his teammate. They're still doing damage. Mike, it ain't over yet.
See, Khalil already down to 1 HP now with Decay, finally dug out by Enzo. And Fnatic convert a Thrifty to stop that momentum from building. They're actually pretty hyped up. Usually after a timeout, you don't expect value immediately in that round, maybe a round or so to breathe and come through back in the buy round, but Fnatic pretty much breeze right through that site, to be honest with you. A couple of run and guns, unfortunate for FURIA, but you noted it, only 2 members here, and they were happy to stand and fight. You know, maybe if it's the Sage and the Viper, there's a bit more stall value to some of the utility there, but as soon as that wall gets dealt with, I'm expecting at least 1 to dip away. You know, come back to an anti-plant, you know, use some of that utility a little wiser. You see actually that.
I love how aggressive this guy is.
Yeah.
This is, and they're investing behind it. You've got Stingers still coming out because they've been buying this operator to try and activate this. But already a different look from Fnatic. Very passive. Noted, though. That's already been spotted now.
Well, potential here for the round to slow down and actually Durka to slip into maybe that lurking role after first contact with the operator. Do have the Hunter's Fury in the lockdown available for Fnatic, though. Again, an indicator, at least early on with the Viper. Investing the wall towards B. I'm curious to see how FURIA play this, because an early investment, actually the turret not spotting the push up here on A. So now Alfia's going to slip back in here, looking as if it's going to be a 2-man lurker in mid line.
Decent info found, but you're right, it's 2 players to this now. On the other side, though, it's not just one. Not just seeing Maz in there, you're going to have the support coming over as well. So bear in mind the purchase isn't perfect, so some of these players are on the stinger, but the adjustment from Khalil is good. Trade comes out for Alpha. That was the second player towards mid for FURIA. A little bit of a pop flash as well, and they're trying to clear back through, but already the side hit comes in, but they haven't cleared. Back by Yellow. It's still good trades for FURIA. They're still at the advantage. 1 player up.
Tap on, but doesn't commit to it just yet.
10 seconds left.
Actually, the fragment going to do just a little damage, going to force Enzo back, but it's 2v3 now. Durka and Enzo left to try and recover this post plant.
Yeah, but Durka on the case, operated to hand. A pixel out of place is all he normally needs. He's noted it, he's got it. Big shot from Durka, back down to the 2v2. Oh, that was so close, Durka. And the readjustment on this, how are these not hitting? They look like they're on the money. Hunter's Fury going to come down, that's from Enzo. The backlines, Khalil! Body checks Durka, and the shot goes straight for Enzo. Diffuse going to come in, can he do anything to deny this? Khalil is going to sit this one.
Time.
The bodyguard is on this, and he's just going to hold it down. Enzo cannot get there in time. FURIA pull it right back and put Fnatic in their place.
And you almost think there with Durka finding that kill, he's able to stabilize a little bit behind Yellow, but I mean, Khalil's lucky to be alive. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
So lucky.
2 shots from Durka, so close by.
Wonderful timing on the null command as well. Just as soon as this mid pressure comes through, they know that the Viper wall is going to go up. They're going to try and wall off and plant here. The null command denies all of that from happening. Beautifully done from FURIA.
And they keep having to do these like mental checks back in because we're at 5-1. Now, fortunately for Fnatic, their money's still okay. They fashioned a buy, but it's not perfect. You're going to see the ult coming in there as well. Khalil going to try and lock out that A site, deny that approach. Now, we know Fnatic, this won't stop them going for this potentially.
No, and quite often they do use the lockdown, which is available here for Alpha, whether or not they're feeling confident enough to force the issue, so to say, on A site. Different look at Durka not actually spotted with that Aldrone. I was going to say, a different look to this.
Or are they going to try and punish this mid piece?
Marzin's actually slipped through. Durka gave up
Ow.
the angle for a moment there.
Oh my
okay.
He still gets tagged. Mazin still gets tagged. I mean, Durka's
It's a
so
miracle
quick.
he's able to slip into that corner, though, with
Yeah.
3 members of Fnatic there. Just the timing was perfect for him.
Looking at this adjustment from Fnatic, are they trying to condition mid a little bit here? I don't know where they're going to try and find this benefit from, because already they've slipped back so deep.
I mean, I just saw a couple of pings here, whether or not Mystic's going to stay and actually wall off mid behind this poison orb.
Okay.
You see on the other side of it, actually. I was anticipating an A split here on the side of FURIA still.
Yeah, they're really committed to this one. Hunter's Fury out of nowhere. Okay, that's ascend it and hope for recipient, but finds very little.
No information either.
20 seconds though.
You should
The time is running so low. Now the lockdown's going to help things out. Does anything really get that dealt with? The swing could have done something, but the damage was not enough. Really not connecting on this. Ditches in on the back of the site, still looking for players. He's going to find one. He's just going to stand and deliver as best he can. Only one though. This ain't bad for Fnatic. Get themselves a plant. Mazin is safe for now, but they at least get themselves in the post plant here, Fnatic.
So Durka's got careful. He's full swing in sight and with no wall up,
Wait.
completely exposed to CT.
So vulnerable. And now down to Alpha, Enzo, Mystic. The play coming back in. Khalil, Mazin. All looking for the way forward. Khalil's already going to be sat on this one. That's going to be halfway. No one's challenging this again. Oh, finally Mystic gets down Khalil.
This wall should drop in a second as well. And
Oh,
Alpha
snappy.
will find another.
Really
He
snappy.
has to slip away from this one with 18 HP, but Mystic will find it.
Nice.
3 on the round for him. Fnatic actually a very late round hit here. The lockdown ultimately being what makes that a little safer in terms of the timing. 20 seconds left on the clock. Lockdown goes into B main. Luckily they hold on, because there's moments here where you're thinking, I'm not sure what happened to the nanoswarm. I heard the sound cue go through, but it wasn't actually denying the defuse. I don't know if it was just the timing there when it got shot, but the voice line at least came through. It was able to stick the defuse regardless. Thank God Mystics lands the headshot.
I mean, it just put me into panic mode as soon as I saw Durka just getting pried out of nowhere.
I don't know if somebody was supposed to be
Maybe a
picking up that
miscall
angle
or
as well.
something.
Yeah.
It just didn't seem right that you're sat in that spot. So we come back in Sheriffs. Fnatic have done well to at least deal with the money, and Boaster ratting it up in spawn. Oh.
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 Well,
Well,
no smokes again.
that's a little rough.
Gonna make either of it, but actually Fnatic feel as if they had. Oh, no, Mystic was still
Mystic!
vulnerable.
Spike down
He
A.
absolutely ate that shot dart.
Why is there 3 of them alive, Mike? This should not be the case. This shouldn't be a problem. You have Durka, Alpha, Enzo still standing. The res comes in, they're committing to this one. They think they got a real shot in this. Durka's still, though,
He has to hold the line,
standing tall. He needs a lot of damage from this. 3 players, what do we have? First piece, and he gets 2! Of course he does! It's Durka getting the double. And bringing it back to the 3v3. Recovered rifle now in the hands of Furia. And Durka, if he has to do it alone, he will. That's so much impact already. Just about the bullet goes astray. Double dips on towards it, but again, it's just down to Durka. Hold on, it ain't over yet. It certainly ain't over yet. But Durka ain't singing, but the defuse is coming in. He's just gonna sit this down. Durka getting closer. Headhunter pulls him away. And that is the man you need to pull you back into place. Fnatic, course correct.
Thank God for that. We said we needed to find something as they come out of heaven there, and it's a freebie behind.
Must
Seen
be
him do that
nice.
before as well at this event. The headshot on the player behind him. Was it Mazina takes first? That's Mazina eats the headshot actually. And even here though, it comes right down to the wire.
Close still. Must be nice to have a Durka on your side.
Might have taken him a couple of rounds, but he's hitting now.
Oh yeah.
Talked about the operator potentially being the turning point of whether or not it's going to be a slower, more progressive work on the attack, but he starts landing shots. Expect him to be picking up that entry role as we would historically see him on the Jet at least.
Yeah. We've had much more of a game than I expected. I mean, coming into this, Mike, I think we were being quite candid about this, and I'm happy to put it out there for Fnatic when we've been touting these players, and it's one of the best there is. I mean, how many features can we do about Boaster? I mean, they're a great team, right? They are a great team, but I need to see them kind of rekindle some of that clean wins, some of that approach that's meant to be synonymous with greatness. And again,
It needs to be solidified by another performance, from Reykjavik last year.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of concerns looking at Fnatic on the international stage. Call it underperformance or
Sure.
whatever hat you want to put that under. We need Fnatic to come through and look pretty convincing, right? It needs to back up the hype.
It does. And looking at this map pool, I think anyone who's seen Fnatic goes, sweet, they've got a really nice pick here. Veto's look good. IceBox, one of their strongholds. FURIA look prepared. But they could get stopped on 5 and this would all be for nothing, right? This could all then turn right back in Fnatic's favor. Starting to see some of those players get activated, some really nice rounds. Purchase now back with FURIA after the back of the timeout. The flash goes in and Durka needs to once again be very cautious here. You can already see the FURIA happy to test this early.
Test it. At least to commit to a couple of swings here and commit to very deep positions posted up.
He went again! He went again!
It's Boaster again as well. Mystics one away from the res. Can they recover this round, get an ult orb in his hands, and get this back on track? But
this guy plays with no respect. He doesn't care for it. He doesn't care who he's facing. He doesn't care about the name. He's taken him down. That's 2 picks already. Boaster and Alpha are gone. I mean, Rez comes out, fortunately, gets him back up to 4. Boaster with a second chance at life.
Back here again!
Commitment! This is madness, Mike. This isn't what it's meant to be.
They've dipped 3 times towards getting these opening engagements here before Fnatic can even set up for some of these executions. It's beautiful to watch.
They're treating Fnatic like this. That's... the balls to do it. The flash not quite good enough to find Boaster, so he gets the fight he wants. And actually, Mazin's low here, down to 10 HP. This opens up such a potential for that mid pressure to come in now.
Have to get the plant away, actually, as FURIA can't really fault him for trying to readdress mid. Mystic lucky to get away with his life there.
I mean, this is still... okay, the trades, Mystic, the only one alive. How is it down to 1? And you know Mazin, you know he's going to be pushing this aggression, is unrelenting. He wants this with Mystic back up to full HP. Toys with him. And I've got to say it, credit to Fnatic here, because, again, let's look at that early round. Statistically, FURIA should have had such an advantage, but Fnatic somehow pull it back.
I mean, with the way Fnatic play, the 2 worst people to die first are Mystic and Boaster.
Yes,
right?
100%.
And this is, I don't know how many times now we're going to look at this on the halftime, but it's really starting to cripple some of these setups. You see actually the frustration starting to show here. Boaster luckily makes the best of this, finds a kill in mid here for Khalil, plants the seeds of maybe he's gone back to that lurking role.
Huge.
Didn't seem to matter though. FURIA just dialed up the pressure on site. I think because they're probably read into it. Yeah, we've got a 3v2. Let's just push this, play trades. They catch Durka before he gets into that cheeky spot on top of boxes, but really impressed with FURIA so far, honestly. And not just from the plays we're seeing, it's their grasp of the timings and exactly what Fnatic want to achieve outside both sides.
They're a gutsy team. The way they play is just so brazen, and you can see the response from Fnatic now, waiting for that. They're going to have to hold a bit more of a default for a slightly elongated time, try and make sure that no one is going for these audacious plays that this FURIA side is happy to test out. But where do they now head? You're down to, what, about a minute? The purchase they're coming up against is not particularly impressive. Last time they did have, to be fair, last time they did have that tour de force in play.
Yeah,
so
sure.
A little bit more of an equalizer, but here, still showing a lot of respect. They've tamed Fnatic, at least for now.
As if Enzo and Boaster are actually going to be tasked with set up a little bit of a fake towards B. Drone going to come through, wall will go up.
Hello.
Will be noted here, but sticks around at least for the time being, but hasn't really pulled a rotation. There's still 3 members of FURIA on a site, and actually this mid presence building now, trying to actually catch the backside. This
will he hear this?
Possibly.
I think he might have, I don't know if he heard steps, but might have heard enough because they aren't moving. They're really committing towards this. Quite worrying for Fnatic walking into this one. This weapon is still there, and the lockdown can't be committed. 10 seconds, they fumbled it, Mike. This could be all in pieces right now. FURIA now have bodies on the site. 9 seconds they have to commit. Boaster has to get the plant down. There's no backing away from this. Noted on the knife, but he does get the plant in. That's at least the time on their side, but now they're surrounded. FURIA just trying to pry them away from the side, pry them away from these corners. Khalil with the connection. But wait. The position's coming out. What do they have there? Boaster commits it. He wants to secure this so badly. Enzo's still fighting. They aren't done yet. Oh, the timing! They push forward. They find Enzo. And now Boaster. Too many players. FURIA getting fired up behind us and Fnatic falling. This is 6 on the board now.
This is another anti-eco that just feels as if they go into panic mode. Again, the fake comes so late on B main that there's no real comfort factor on A. Like I said, it didn't draw a rotation. Mazin actually pushes through mid, and I think probably does pick up an audio.
Maybe just a step or two. I'm
because
not
he doesn't
sure
challenge.
because-
He doesn't
no,
challenge. He slips
back.
all the way back so that they know they can just scrap it out on A site. Fnatic. I don't want to say fumbling that one, but making it really difficult for themselves. They usually, in terms of planning, choreography, and coordination, when they do try and really mess with their opponent's minds, they're usually on point with this. That just looked like it was like first contact comes through, Alfiez out in the open towards Maze with a lockdown in his hand because everybody just starts panicking.
Sure. Because how many times... This is the thing, right? Mentally, if you're coming up against FPX on IceBox and you're Fnatic, right, hey, round 6 of us meeting, however many stupid times it is, you're in full focus mode. They have just been stunned by FURIA, I feel. FURIA have come in with zero respect, no fear of the name, right? You're playing up a team like Fnatic on a map like IceBox. This is meant to command respect, but they've come in with zero care for the name.
I'll be honest, the same way that they approach playing DRX in that opening map.
And I love
just
seeing
zero respect.
It's great
The problem
to see.
came from sustaining that and the stability behind when DRX are able to then actually adapt to what's going on. Fnatic, another team you could put under that umbrella, right? They're very good at adapting, but
absolutely
certainly haven't seen it in this first half yet.
I mean,
the scoreline almost doesn't do justice to what I feel FURIA are achieving here in some of these rounds.
Yeah, I mean, again, we can see this go completely back in, hand to Fnatic in the blink of an eye. The fact it's gotten to this point, though, I think a lot of the realists out there who look at this game and go, huh.
This is their stomping ground.
Exactly, like, context is everything. If you're just looking at this at face value with no statistics, no thought behind it, you go, well, any team can win on any game. Fantastic, great mentality. The realistic chances of it against Fnatic here are so slim. There's such a powerhouse on IceBox, and that's a big amount of information. So let's see how FURIA once again handle this. Fnatic falling back into their habits here, but now they have that purchase behind them. They can commit the lockdown. Mystic's got the pick, and this should be good to go.
See the lockdown lasting through the shock darts. Whether or not actually anybody's going to get caught here from FURIA.
Two of them.
Catch two.
Oh, Alpha.
Oh, he's chomping at the bit to go and swing that.
You can see it. You can see it. And oh
But
no, he
he's
found Khalil. There were 2 players throughout. He finds Khalil out, both of them. But again, there's still 4 players in a post plant, right? You've still got Boaster then. Actually, no utility to play with at that point. Enzo should be fine. Boaster just gonna push himself forward, and he's actually
took his eyes off him for a second.
didn't see towards the top side of things. The drop down comes in. Boaster's been hunted down. And now the res comes out. They're back up to 3, back down to 2, trading out. We're down to just 1, and Enzo has to clutch this out. The ult comes in, the tap on the spike, but he's got the lineups. He needs to be good for this one. And there's the chip damage. It ain't much. That is the Enzo! The safest pair of hands you could have prayed for.
That came bloody close, though. If Enzo's not got shock darts there, again, the Viper's bit goes up. They're looking to try and secure that. Thank God they convert that post plant. It cost them nearly everything, though. Mystic, just trying to put the team on his back here. Gets up on top of 410. He's actually, unfortunately, I think he's not actually spotted initially, so he's able to apply a little bit of pressure to this res as well. But a much-needed round from Fnatic. If they come out 6-6 from this half...
Miracle work coming back in. This game is absolutely wild. What a treat we're getting. And honestly, this could have been a blowout, but so far, this close, super slick. Excuse me, Hunter's Fury this early off the back of the tag, maybe just to isolate the player on side, which they've done exactly that to the response in kind. Posting it back through. Enzo now down, but to a 4v4.
Mystic's got the res, though. Yeah, I feel like this is his 3rd res on the half now. He's going to come back and get this. The Fragment doing a lot of damage.
Alpha's so low.
He's down to sub 5 HP.
Ah! He's down! What?
What the flank?
FURIA! How have they closed this down? Boaster is now so alone. He's got players left. Right! Center! He takes down 2! A 3rd! No! Oh my word, this game is unreal. Volatile throughout. 7-5. Mike, what a goddamn half that was.
And it's beautiful to see when Fnatic step the pace up, FURIA like, oh, that's your faster pace, is it? Okay, we'll show you pace. Let's look how quickly we can get you backline. Because actually, this whole defensive half, they've been waiting them out, right? And as soon as Fnatic start making decisions, FURIA are ready to take the fight to them.
Well, we've got a game on our hands. This is perfect. 7-5. Desk, what do you make of that?
If anyone were to say, oh man, I totally believe that it'd be FURIA 7-5 into the half on IceBox against Fnatic, I would have looked at you and called you a cold-blooded liar, but this is the reality that we live in. Oh my goodness, Ryan, what a game we have been treated to thus far.
And just a great show. We got to see a little bit of Dirk on this map. He's known for it, but DT's in on FURIA was incredible. Like, certainly that 4K in the last round to just go for the flank, get the kills onto Fnatic, who were looking to close out pretty decently at the half. But it's the fact that this guy picked up the operator in round 3. So this is typically where you don't want to see a big gun brought in because you want to be sort of playing a bonus and stuff like that, but he manages to make it work, and it's one of the reasons why we got to see FURIA getting a 5-1 lead. The fact he was getting the operator online and shut down a lot of what Fnatic wanted to do.
Yeah.
There was so many question marks, not from the side of FURIA. Don't worry, FURIA, they're operating in full steam ahead. You guys are doing great, no problems. I have no qualms with what you guys are putting on the board. I have qualms with the fact that it required very heavy investments to win rounds. It required a Dirk ace clutch to win another round. It required an Enzo clutch to win another round. This is ridiculous, and there is a saving grace for the EMEA fans, because I have to give it to you guys, of course. Last time they played, of course, they only won those 4 attacking rounds, and then they got the 9 defensive rounds. So let's make the assumption that Fnatic is defensive-sided. I am giving you some kind of back-in EMEA fans, some kind of hopium and copium to move forward with.
The thing for attack, I think, for FURIA to keep this going is Mazin on the KO.
Yes.
He needs to be a knife through butter, finding out where Dirk is going to be. If they start to snowball rounds for Fnatic, that means Dirk is going to get the operator. That's what they want to avoid. That's why DD didn't found so much success. They can't let Dirk get the operator on defense. It's that straightforward. And when you have a Sage, a Killjoy, a Chamber, all of that utility around the map, you need to break some of it and find those spaces, find those executes.
This could be a monumental victory for the Brazilians, or Fnatic can shut it down on the opposite side. I told you, Hypoc, this was going to be a good game. You see, you got to listen to Papa GB from time to time. Over to you guys.
Any retorts to that?
No comment.
Fair
I'll
enough.
speak to you after.
Oh, it's icy in here. But back into this, we do dive in on the second half now. 7-5. If you are just tuning in, FURIA are indeed leading Fnatic on IceBox. Now, it could all change, Mike. I know. I'm telling myself this. But hell, they are putting up a fight. But we have to see it now translate onto this attacking side, because Fnatic will be woken the hell up now.
Absolutely. We'll see. Initially suppressed here, Durka, but noted in terms of position. No confirmation just yet. He's still looking to get a little curious on the other side of pipes. Much safer setup here from FURIA, though. Nobody drifting underneath Nest. I'm happy to wait things out now. Actually got 2 players posted up towards B. Potentially take a little contact. But it's cautious, considering how the end of the first half ended, but...
Totally different tone. The pacing just almost eerie, almost too silent, almost too quiet at this point. Fnatic might get a little too curious, and you can see him trying to avoid line of sight here. Durka will get forced away, and they're going to be quick towards getting sight. Mystic, the next one in line. And actually, Mystic's been having a belting game, bear in mind.
He really has.
Top of the scoreboard, leading the way. But FURIA are on the side. They should be able to get the spike plant down, unless Durka keeps doing this. A little bit of chip damage here and there. And then just down to 3. The response is in middle, but it's traded.
Just 2 members left here for FURIA to try and hold on to side here. Actually trying to get ahead of the curve and do a little bit of damage or find a kill.
None of these are hitting cleanly. There it is. Comfy work for Fnatic, and a necessary round to start closing in on this scoreline.
And what's key, I know the desk just touched on it previously, having a fantastic first half. Marzine has to address the front line, right? He has to be the one on damage control, or at least, you know, damage limitation in such a, because Durka's going to try and post up, but the thing is there aren't many tools, and we've talked about this previously with this composition, there aren't many tools to really put Durka in these deep, aggressive positions, particularly here on the defense. So a lot of it, if he's noted, whether or not FURIA are going to kind of sit behind that or try and challenge him, that's going to be something I've got my eye on.
Okay. For now, though, the Fnatic fans can breathe a sigh of relief, seeing that. That should at least put them up to 7-7. Not seeing too much, just making me worried. Coming back into this, it's classics. I think maybe a shorty being toyed with, but that's about it. Again, we have seen a couple of these go a little wonky, Mike, and so a little bit skew-if here. Durka's on 27 HP, but it's okay. He'll get away with his life, maybe not. How is this so dangerous? How are we here? How's it a 3v3? They've got a Spectre, I guess. They've recovered it. A tap on the spike has to adjust around. This is so, that's
Beautiful.
so good from
Beautiful.
Boaster. Big denial on the spike plant.
Stalemate ensues, but actually a double flank coming through from Fnatic. It's Mystic and Durka looking to get behind this once again. So FURIA opt to stack towards backside. Actually, they have the wall to complement this setup as well. Durka very, very tagged up. All the time, it's not good.
Mazin's gone. Khalil, last one alive, and it feels like a formality as the timing's good for Boaster. Really well played to him, though, there to be able to deny the spike plant off. They adjusted going up towards the top side of Nest.
FURIA just look lethal
They
in their
are.
thrifty rounds. They look so lethal.
That was
I
a shorty
talking
and a
about-
headhunter?
Exactly. I was talking about on the defensive half, but right there, the fact that they're able to close the distance without anybody really spotting out the fact that there's a shorty barreling its way towards screens, it is just madness.
Yeah. Right.
So get your cardio in.
Teleport's ready.
Cool.
First buy round coming out for FURIA though. Actually, Durka the only one with really any early ult progress here towards that tour de force. Boaster brings a Spectre and Enzo as well, actually. I'm curious to see now what the actual approach is for this second half from FURIA.
Deploying drone.
Similar scenes to the pistol, really. Same two players at least posted towards B main. Khalil actually went a little deeper this time around, but just trying to prod and poke a little bit towards B. A site is actually
Just Durka.
just Durka, yeah. As the rotation's coming through slowly, but it's only towards mid. Not actually dealing with the trap is going to alter that at all, but FURIA have crept up towards pipes here, so. And the knife back off cooldown. You know, identified Durka's playing this close. Very strange setup for FURIA.
No.
I don't know if they're just trying to look for confirmation of where this utility is being invested or trying to wait for somebody to overstep the mark. Don't expect Fnatic to do that.
No, they're not a team who's going to give you those opportunities. And here's the knife. There's also a spot. And Durka, with a little bit of repetition playing towards Nest, gets punished this time. Last time it was the tags off the headhunter. This time, demolished with the Vandal. Spike plant coming in. Don't know if there's anything to stop this. No. Spike now down. Time on their side. Alpha just found two out of nowhere. Where the hell did he get that from? But a quick wrap towards the back of the site gives them advantage again. And a shutdown in the post plant. FURIA back in control.
3 standing as well. Should be able to round out this purchase relatively comfortably. Decent progress, and like I said, it's whether or not this. Again, it's a similar situation, right? You look at the other side here with actually the KO for Marzin. There's no real push behind his utility early on. Actually, 14 assists on the defensive half. He was doing absolute wonders.
Yeah.
In terms of setting some of these plays up, but not seeing the same thing here on attack. I don't know if FURIA feel as if they just want a couple of fact finders now. That was their first buy round, so
True.
maybe just wanted to slow that one down a little bit. Maybe see Fnatic's approach. But I don't necessarily feel as if they came away from that round learning an awful lot.
It was quite an unorthodox round, to be fair. I think from start to end, it was certainly a little different to what we'd expect. But FURIA coming to this with a decent amount of weapons to hand, and obviously the same cannot be said for Fnatic. Hero rifle on Durka, Guardian for Alpha, Judge for Mystic. So it's bits and pieces, odds and ends. Boaster and Enzo just down on the Classic. So this, see if they can cause the same amount of danger in their kind of half buys here, I guess. Mystic has been good, and he's going to hear these steps coming. No subtlety to this anymore. Support's there, 4 on the site. Fnatic in the right place to try and do some damage here, and rightly so they do. A 1-1 trade out. Big denial so far. The rifle finally removed. Durka only does manage to get 1. So it is down to a 2v3, and bear in mind, Alpha's the one with a little bit more threat here.
We have to comfortably get this plant down, though. Enzo only on the Classic.
Revealing edge.
And actually sweeping
Nice.
the head at Alpha.
Nice.
We'll find the headshot as well. The lockdown's available now.
And this puts him in such a predicament. Enzo, can you do anything with this? I mean, if he can just punish a couple of these players, that'd be great, but it's just going to force their hand, right? FURIA have to dip away slightly, give up the sight.
Good for this.
Remaining.
Oh, and Enzo's gone down. 5 HP. This would need a miracle, and he might make it. not going to make it happen that time. One still alive. Now, damage aplenty, Fnatic, for Fnatic there. Taking them down to one player, costing them a great deal of rifles.
But it draws out the lockdown. Both sides of that equation, right? It's cost on both sides. So Fnatic almost feel as if they could actually flip that back in their favor.
Enemy remaining.
Maybe on the back of the plant location, like I said, I'm not entirely sure, but
I would apologize.
Nice!
oh, so I think actually coming out of this, FURIA will be able to get everybody back online and only the light shield for Khalil. Dirk obviously investing in the previous, the Tour de Force available now. But look at this ult cycle for FURIA, and then look at the scoreline.
It's a little scary, Michael.
That's very scary.
Oh,
So's that.
Dirk. See, how is that tag? Dirk is still such a threat at all occasions. An attempt to slow him down. Chip damage.
Big damage after that, actually. Down at 75 HP.
Boaster is trying to backfill this. There will be a fight between the Vipers as well. Maybe a little outnumbered now. Where do they go with this? 1 minute to make their choice.
Problem being, if they can create a little bit of pressure towards Dirk, I think that's going to be the catalyst for Boaster to swing out here.
Deeper angle on the other side. Yeah, there it is. The deeper angle pushing up. He was so aware of how Dirk wanted to play that, punishing it and opening up huge opportunity. This could force the hand, but it is just going to be Boaster still soloing out. Flanks on the way. Rotation is en route, but again, this is still so difficult. Big pick from Enzo. That's going to slow things down.
Tour de Force getting popped here. Halfway through, Mystic, gotta be careful. Is he desperately looking for an angle here?
30 seconds left.
He's gonna hear these shots. A
I see
tag.
Alpha, yeah, here.
Alpha from above, and he outdoes him. Brilliant work from Alpha here, supporting on the site now. The flank's still on the way. Boaster is still slowly creeping those back lines. But it's going to take a moment before it even hits into effect. They're just trying to get this block down, and they pry away two of the players. Make it 3! And now just down to that flank, and look at that intuition, look at that timing. They knew exactly where he's coming from, but he still gets the shot.
He's got a massive HP advantage here, at least on the first.
Can you do something?
Khalil a little
Man,
disconnected.
this could be huge for Boaster, huge for Fnatic. And a 1v2 ain't easy, and they aren't showing their hands right now. Eventually has to close towards the site. It didn't do what it needed. You can see him still waiting this one out, and Boaster has no idea, but he's actually gambled this the right way. He turns around, he turns away, and his fate is sealed. 10 rounds for FURIA now, double digits achieved. Fnatic, I'm getting worried.
Very worried. It's like I said, look at the knock-on effect now. I think Fnatic going to be walking the tightrope in terms of this purchase, however they settle up, to be honest with you. But look at what's coming online here for FURIA. A couple of real game changers in terms of the ultimates. Particularly here, the Viper's Pit, if they can keep getting close to sight. It looks as if Fnatic are, I mean, after Durka dies there, they're sitting so deep away, they're looking to just punish the wall, don't want to allow any comfort in terms of a safe plant or anything like that. But the Viper's Pit really throws a spanner in the works.
Scanning ahead.
They're going to give up sights this easily. Alfie with an early pick, though. That's a full swing through mid, actually.
Okay. The rest going to come out, though. So back up to 5 apiece. But forcing that out, not necessarily a bad thing. So lovely
Takes one
early
piece
damage.
off the board.
Yeah, really nice. And Alpha has been good at finding a couple of these kills. We've seen a lot of the rounds, even when they've gone to the wayside, finding 2-3 kills here and there first. A couple of openers as well. Not like he's having a quiet series, but again, the collective for FURIA looking so on the money. And a similar look this round, just kind of this longer extended default now.
Caution here.
Heavy emphasis towards A and Boiler, actually, for
Scanning ahead.
Fnatic. Dirk just tasked. Hold on to yellow for the time being. Sure, he actually able to escape this. I mean, he's only got a Bucky in hand, and it's going to be an awkward TP. Not even sure if the sound cue's heard in the drone there. Place in a second. Down to 30 seconds, and FURIA yet to make a decision, but they have drawn a rotation. They have a favourable engagement towards A site here. If they can get bodies behind this, it's Boaster and Mystic to try and hold down the fort.
Oh, it wasn't pretty, but it gets the job done. Couldn't get the follow-up, though. 15 seconds, they're starting to drown under the time here, and Boaster waiting on the back lines. This could be huge. Hunter's Fury, great timing from Enzo and Boaster. They should be enough here. Enzo doing as much as he can and may have just bailed them out in this round. Durka, shots go straight, but the time has run down. Fnatic live to fight another day here. Another round that they close the gap on.
And this feels very similar to what I was talking about a couple of rounds ago. Actually, the first buy round from FURIA, where they're almost assuming they're pressuring enough on sites to draw this rotation. But with this setup, this composition from Fnatic, they don't need to scramble to find rotations. As long as Alpha's still up, there's no threat through mid. We haven't seen any real pressure towards Boiler or Tube yet from FURIA.
10 seconds left.
So Fnatic, ultimately, they're saving themselves 10 seconds in a rotation. So they've got people sat behind Kitchen, behind Boiler. There just isn't enough happening. And I think FURIA are probably assuming there is a lot happening behind the scenes with what they're trying to achieve on B main.
You've got to remind yourself this is still Fnatic, right? One team. We want to be seeing fine form here. Not a bad way to get themselves back on track. First pick goes in. That's Khalil gone.
Well, they just try and commit to the plant here.
They are. He's got so much space. Oh, the timing.
Oh my god!
What? What the what? Sorry. So, Fnatic, are you okay? Because that was never meant to happen. Oh, and it's just shooting fish in a barrel, man. This is a tragedy in the making. I've never seen anything like it.
Here come the troops.
Well, I can't believe this is the round. I can't believe I'm genuinely
What the
stunned.
hell was that?
One off the rope. Where's the aim reset on the what? Show me it again, because
We just need a FURIA like thrifty round highlight package after this.
like Bosa's POV. Oh.
That's another delete the mod moment. Honestly, that really
Man,
is.
that's mad.
That was absolute filth. And it completely blows this round wide open. They get so deep towards site. Again, they hear the nano swarm. He actually pushes deeper than it. Tries to even get up to go towards kitchen or towards hallway.
That's broken Fnatic's money. This could be 12 for FURIA. The gods are smiling on FURIA today. That is not something you are meant to have happen, but it worked. And you'll hold on to that when you get it. But you don't often get those times when it all lines up and all works out. A little bit of tip damage done, so have to work this one back in, and they're not backing down just yet. Mystic gonna stand, try and take the fight, but so many bodies and just so many weapons staring your way. What are you meant to do?
We're looking to step the pace up a little bit behind this first blood. The opener here, Durka's good for one. Marzine will trade it back out though.
They still try and fight this out. Alpha puts his life on the line. It's
Another
just nothing.
repeat.
Yeah, just nothing hitting. And so what are you gonna do? A 1v3. It's not looking good. It's looking like 12 is inevitable. And I still am just stunned and in awe at this entire game. Oh, so is he.
Last year actually gets the first. Down to 20 HP though.
Standing ahead.
Expecting a little more discipline from FURIA to not let this one.
Did he see a blind? I
enemy
think he
remaining.
did, and
Okay.
so it ain't over yet. There's still a couple of seconds, and the timing.
They've traded places.
Enzo's surely not going to know what he does, and it's 12 for FURIA. Can you bloody believe it?
Get this man off the ropes.
Please.
Seriously, just get him away from all the ropes.
I don't know what I don't know what he's made of. We're on map point, Mike, and I have to remind us, this is an elimination game. This is IceBox. It's Fnatic. I can't say it enough times. We're not meant to be here.
I started this with saying the win condition for FURIA was taking Breeze, and they're about to take IceBox. Like, let's just think about that for a second here.
This could be one of the biggest upsets we've ever seen. Quite genuinely.
Fnatic got some tools to throw at this. The Viper's Pit, the lockdown, the res for Mystic, who, by the way, just somebody that doesn't usually shine as bright as this. He's had a fantastic performance here, even with Fnatic being 4 rounds down here on IceBox. Mystic's been the driving force in some of these rounds. Once more, a little bit of presence shown towards B. It's Bosa this time around, Durka. Actually almost faking his position here with the trap over towards B, but he's an extra body on A site here.
12v3. Perfect first pick for Durka. Gonna get himself out, slip away. Losing out on Khalil early on, again, could cause problems.
Shot that.
Oh, follow up Durka. Holding on to this round. Again, if I have to do it myself, I will, he says, as eventually going to be traded out, but the damage has been achieved. You're down to now 3, but look at the space that's being garnered, and this is
Paul
going to...
Bosta way away from default as well.
He's having flashbacks over here, man. All you can see is that rope on the other side every time he peers around, but does he get the timing?
He spotted at least.
Revealing area.
There it is. Rotation should be called
30
in pretty
seconds
soon.
left.
Support system needs to come into place. Looking at Alfair, slowly
Caution
working his
here.
way through middle. Caution towards CT being shown already by Enzo. Carefully there. Wall goes up and actually getting a little ahead of this. Not playing passive by any means. The lockdown's going to come in. The res comes out. Fnatic will take no chances here. And probably rightly so. So much danger even with these two still standing.
Full 2v5 here. Noted at least some util to use here from Marzine, but it's going to take a miracle to convert this one.
They need such a fumble from Fnatic here. So hard to try and maybe determine the outcome when back to the wall. You have no room to really play within this. Mazin just spraying in wildly, not getting what he wants. The wall's in place. Secure the body block if they have to. They'll do whatever's necessary. They're trying to take him down with the defuse. It's there. Fnatic far from done. Still standing. 3 make it through the round and they make 9 onto the board now.
Little life in them just yet. Both still got a Viper's pip.
How's the money?
Actually, other side of things, Khalil. Let's have his as well. Should be able to get a comfortable purchase here. Tour de Force one away for FURIA as well. Just looking at the scoreline here, I think FURIA is still going to have another. Fnatic have to win out this and the next, really, and actually a timeout coming through. It's going to be interesting where the money's going to lie in a round. Fnatic come through and win this. It's going to put FURIA in a really awkward position. And now I'm starting to have flashbacks for FURIA were held on map point for so long in the opening map. We keep referencing that, but
yeah. I mean, sometimes the last one's always the hardest round to get. I feel like this entire game feels like an absolute fever dream, just watching this go through.
I think that one was a little more drastic than the scoreline we got here, but saying it's happened recently.
Michael, they wouldn't. No, they'll close out the game. Fine. But Fnatic have every chance to try and pull this one back through. We're starting to see a couple of them activate here. I've got to say it as well, because I mean, normally Durka is the man on the screen there. The point of our conversation, got to give it to Mystic right now. He is
absolutely
bailing about a couple of those rounds, especially on the attacking side as well.
I mean, even actually, we're both to having a horrendous start to the first half, and not even through misplays, just being the one to ultimately be swung on 35 seconds into a no-contact
There's
round.
nothing you could do about that.
It wasn't him mispositioning, overstepping anywhere, but he was getting slapped about in ways that you wouldn't really expect anybody to in such a deep default. But he's recovered really well.
Fnatic feeling brave. Having a little look for that first pick, but are going to be backing away. And this time, no initial first blood drawn for them. Last time we saw Khalil drop early. This time, keeps his life.
First time we've actually seen FURIA stack up and commit behind some of this A presence. Durka, you can see, actually suppressed here. And a lot of utility invested towards him. He's dug out immediately.
Instantaneously. You can hear the ult go through. Mystic in this
No
man
way,
is on
Mystic.
a mission. It's incredible from Mystic.
What?
The follow-up as well. Mystic keeping Fnatic alive, and he still might be needed in this. It ain't over yet. Mystic and Boast are still standing in a 2v3. One is down. Tour de Force is popped. FURIA want this one done. They want out of here. Can the man on the screen, 23 kills to his name, do any more for his side? Trying to allow any chance to cross to the site, popping the Viper's Pit to do so.
It's so
and
far
Mystic,
off the spike, though.
it is, but he's taking a couple of steps forward. Mazin, no idea where he's gone to at this moment. Mystic's still there and Boaster by his side. Wall goes up.
He spotted a barrel.
He's seen him. Oh, but Mystic! He's found another! It's 3! And now a 2v2, but the time's starting to tick. A Boaster, he sees one, he gets the tag, he can't get the frag. A Boaster on 1 HP! Anything more? Can this man do it? No! FURIA! Zero fear of Fnatic's